You're listening to the Adventures in Middle-earth actual play using Fantasy Grounds. You can find session summaries, items and characters on Obsidian Portal, where our campaign is called In the Shadow of the Mountains. You can cross-reference this episode as 2946 Third Age Episode 4. You'll find links to that and our other forms of media for our sessions, as well as an index of this episode in the description. Last episode, the party started a journey west with a message bound for Beorn, but picked up a way out of their depth father and son heading west. The father was captured by a multitude of spiders and the party tracked him back to the arachnids' lair. This episode starts with the dangerous rescue mission.
Well, let me give you a quick précis of kind of where you got up to while we're waiting. We can, as I said, make a bit of a soft start. So, after a period of time at the Festival of the Five Armies, you eventually met up with the king, who was a gruff but very sort of straightforward chap, and agreed to take a message to Beorn through the woods. During that early part of that journey, you encountered father and son, Baldur and son, who you agreed to help. They had been waylaid by bandits, and you actually made pretty good progress with your stout pony through the through the eastern side of Mirkwood until last night. And unfortunately, whether it was down to just the serious Mirkwood, or there was something else to do with the enchanted stream that you just crossed, but Baldur appeared to lose his mind and ran off into the woods. You were unable to track him, and decided to start again the next day and tracked him successfully to an ancient ruin. A lot of the ruin is collapsed and defunct now, apart from part of a tower still standing and walls of a keep are standing. Right on top of those two walls, in the murk of the canopy, is Baldur, trussed up like a spring chicken in webs, and looks unconscious or asleep or dead. And you were making plans to rescue him. I know you were doing that offline as well. One other little snippet of information that Brother Hathus got before you left Dale was a strange hobbit inn. Two gentlemen were talking about west side of Mirkwood has apparently been set up not a day's walk from the gate on the western side of Mirkwood. Whether that's true or not, you don't know, but you picked that up, Hathus, before you left. So that's where you're up to. You are now at the base of this tower, bricking yourselves, looking up at dozens of these spiders, all looking to be asleep. It's daylight. They're under the canopy. It's gloomy under here, but you can clearly see them when you climb the tower next to it. And you're making plans. So over to you guys.
So I think the consensus was that our best bet is to try and sneak in and release Baldur. If that's right, folks?
I believe so, with option 2 as a backup.
Which was distract them, lure them away, or drive them away with fire, or...
Yeah, so we had option 1, stealthily cut them down, lowering them to us and sneak them away. And then option 2 was big distraction on the other side, and I think Amalfrida suggested maybe a fire or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we can find some cocoons or nests and just set fire to them, it might pull some of them away.
So I guess the best thing is if we do not wake any spiders.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're in a world of pain, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm particularly worried about the one called Oddly Runty.
Oh, that's right. They all had fascinating names, didn't they? Well padded and ungainly, etc. Yes.
Yeah, Oddly Runty has got me a bit worried.
It's got you oddly concerned.
And unusually sculpted has got me a bit horny.
There's one called Sexy as well. That should be particularly disconcerting. Very meaty. Yeah.
Fortunately, there's some called Crippled and Ailing, so those ones shouldn't cause too much of a problem. Okay, so how many people do we want to send to sneak in? Because that sneak, we've got to climb up onto the wall again, haven't we? And then cut him down?
Yeah, you saw two obvious routes to him. You're not sure which is easiest, but one is to scale the wall. It does, as the map shows, contain strands of web. The other
Yeah.
way is almost like a web bridge that would
Mhm.
span between the tower and the damaged wall and then navigate across the top of the wall. Either would probably give you a route up to him.
Does that look sticky, that web bridge?
It is hard to say. That it's very, very thick, almost like, I guess, paracord thickness cords. It's not like rope thickness, but he looks well stuck and trussed up, so possibly.
I seem to vaguely remember that spiders are very good at feeling the vibrations within their webs. They almost wait till they can feel things moving on their webs or feel things struggling in their webs. And that kind of activates them alerts them in terms of something's, somewhere. And I think they are very good at locating and tracking things, touching or moving on their webs. That would be a concern of mine as we start twanging their wires.
I'd rather go for the wall approach rather than trying to use a bridge. I think the bridge, as you said, would just alert them because we're bound to move and sway on that bridge. It also means that we're also above the ground. If they choose to attack us when we're halfway across the bridge, or whoever is across the bridge, I think they're going to be in a bit of trouble. I'd rather go for the wall personally.
And who's going to volunteer first for this mission? Obviously, I'm an old man with aching knees and back, and so a mission like this is beyond me nowadays. Back in the day, I'd have signed up immediately, but my lumbago's giving me havoc.
Funny you should mention that. I've got a
I think it might be contagious.
I think I slept badly. I think last time, Amalfreda and Sigmar snuck up last time. Do you want to send one or two?
And have you got everyone got their roles for, like, if plan A goes to cock, what plan B is and that kind of stuff?
I was going to say that there is always the pragmatic option, which is, this
the damn fool got himself in his pickle.
He's a nice guy, but
we only met him a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just the lad, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but, life's hard.
Well, can we get a small fire going, just so if we need to light anything, we can.
Source. Yeah.
And I'll get a couple of arrows out.
Can we see any cocoons or any? They're probably not going to be attracted to those anyway, because that would be food. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's get a fire lit then. Have we got any flasks of oil or anything like that? Anything flammable? I don't think. I've got 2 oil flasks.
I've one.
If you click on open the party sheet and open the inventory tab, just check you can see that. That's got basically everything across all of your character's inventory.
Right.
Place. And I'm just looking for oil.
I've got 1 flask of
oil. Yeah, you got 4 flasks of oil between you. Amalfreda's got 2, Sigmar 1, Monin 1.
Yeah, I see them. Yeah. So we've got enough flasks of oil to create fire arrows if we've got some wadding as well. Where do you want this fire, Monin? Do you want it back here out of sight?
Yeah, just where we are behind this wall is probably a good idea.
Okay.
Because we're getting character. Just behind this wall here.
Who's going to sneak up? Sigmar's probably the stealthiest. Sigmar, are you up for this?
Yep. I'm up for it if we're sure that this is the way we want to go.
I don't know if we've got any other options, to be honest.
So what? So am I going to sneak up to the wall, climb up the wall, cut him down? Actually, he's high up, isn't he?
Yeah, if you make the climb, I'll come across with you and wait underneath. That way, if you do run into trouble, you'll at least have somebody there to give you some immediate help, while the other 2 wait back by the fire. And if we don't like what we see, presumably they can start chucking fire around like it's going out of business.
Yeah, so that's what Mon will do. I'll do that. I'll rain fire down on them.
So will we throw fiery brands, fiery arrows at the spiders, or will we try and create a fire to one side to either scare them, drive them off, distract them?
Just rather have a better plan for if things go wrong than just.
I can't see that fire is going to actually attract them. If anything, it's going to drive them away. So I'd be tempted to throw fire straight at them.
Fine, that's fine.
Drive them away from us.
If they hear you, yeah. Or if they discover you.
See with all that web all along that wall there. That's what I'll try and go for.
Yeah, because I will be just to the right of that. Okay.
So this little round tower, John, how ruined is it? How defensible will it be? Because I'm sure they like running through webs, but they can also run across the ground.
Yeah.
So if we do have to hold ourselves up, can we do it in there?
You could, although the southeast quadrant is crumbled, probably no more than 2 or 3 feet high, and very pretty rough terrain. So this area around here is hard going to go over it, but spiders may be able to clamber across that pretty easy.
Yeah.
And the roof's open, so they could, if they can go across all of the canopy of trees. And just emphasize, this kind of clearing that looks like on the map is fairly fully covered by canopy 60, 70 feet above. So
It's going to be
gloomy in
three-dimensional.
here.
Yeah.
So they could easily go across there and potentially come down on webs or something. You've never seen these kind of things before, so you don't really know. Well, in fact, actually, you've probably got nightmares about these things, Sigma. You may well have not necessarily fought them, but
my last party was wiped out by them, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
Monan's first arrow is going to be a normal arrow, just in case it goes tits up. He's going to try and go for a Robin Hood type shot and shoot the thread that's holding the cocoon of him.
Love it.
This could be amusing. Okay.
Have we got anything that can assist brave Sigma in terms of, I don't know, helping him?
Helping him climb or... Yeah.
Can we give inspiration dice to people, John?
I've got one.
You've got one, okay.
No, they're sole use.
They're personal. Okay.
Yeah, personal use only.
Named recipient only.
All right, well, wish me luck.
Okay, luck.
Make a stealth check if you want to try and stealthily sneak to the bottom of the wall.
Sigmar, before you leave, you don't want them coins jangling, so do you want to give the purse over to me? And I'll give them back to you when they come back.
Yes, and I'll count them out into your hand. Okay. Is that in the tower, John, still?
Yeah, stealth in the tower, thanks.
Oh, I need to unlock the tower.
Okay, so, wow, the three of you who remain hidden behind the wall are astonished at how quiet Sigma almost sort of disappears, blends into the forest, and you don't hear a single sound. And you get to the bottom of the wall there, Sigma. The next up is Amalfrida.
Right, I'm going to wait until Sigmar has climbed up to the top, and then I'll go across.
Okay, so Hathus or Mona, are you guys doing anything?
Just
Beyond
watching.
A small prayer to any religion that seems to fit the bill. No, keeping very still, very quiet, and watching intently.
Yeah, and Monan's praying to Mahal quietly for their good deliverance.
Okay, so you're at the base of the wall, Sigmar. It looks about 30 to 40 feet high. It looks kind of tricky, mainly because you've touched a web at the bottom and it does appear to be pretty sticky. It's not completely coated in them, but there are a few hanging across the wall and attached to it. So you're trying to climb and avoid those and avoid getting stuck in them. To do that successfully, you need to give me a strength athletics check. It's pretty quiet, but the climb looks fairly daunting. So do that in the open. Perfect. You are quiet, stealthy. You manage to find finger and toe grips in this crumbling mortar. More importantly, don't dislodge any rocks or stones on the way up, and you make it up to what would have been a wall probably at rough roof level of this keep. You peer over, and literally 10 to 15 feet of all around you are spiders to your west and south, and your heart is hammering in your chest. So you are right up next to. You've avoided webs. I'll just move you onto the wall, but you're right next to Baldur, who's hanging not 5 feet in front of you, about head down about 2 feet above the level of this stone wall.
I should wait for.
I'll make my stealth roll then in the tower to come across.
Good luck. Could all go to Cock Sigma hit right here.
Oh, Frida.
Okay. No, it's going to go to Cock for Amalfrida fractionally later than for Sigma. Okay, so Amalfrida goes across to the wall. One moment. There's a meaty crack, Amalfrida, when you get to about there on your way across.
Meaty
As
crack.
as your foot breaks a rotting stick on the floor, and it makes a incredibly loud, to use Sigmar, crack sound. And suddenly hear, what is this? And all around you, spiders start moving. Amalfrida, you finish your move, rapidly going to the wall. Both of you are pretty panicked. They're starting to move, but they look very sleepy, guys, so you might have a short space of time to effect a rescue before they're fully awake. Next up is Hathus. You get to act.
I will look at Moanin, and I will probably bend down, get a burning branch in my hand, but not do anything more than that, and definitely not move to make any sound.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on Moanin, and I'll probably, if I can hold an action, to throw my burning branch or something. If he fires at something, then I will do so.
All right. Moanin, you get to act next.
Okay, so they're quite close to be able to cut it if they needed to next round.
Sigmar definitely. Sigmar's literally kind of poised to do just that. He was kind of waiting for Amalfrida to come up and provide a bit of support, moral or otherwise, and then panicked, nearly crapped himself when he heard the twig snap underfoot.
Okay, Monan will swap to a normal fire arrow, ignite it, and wait.
Okay, so you're just readying an action. What's the trigger for you to...
I'll probably wait till next
Did you
round.
see spiders? Okay,
Yeah,
just
so
gonna
basically
hang
to see
on.
if they cut through and then aim for that wall as prearranged.
No problem. All right. So, Sigmar, you get to act now. And the spiders are coming to life. You can see eyes opening, lock on you on top of the wall.
I'll slash the thing holding Baldur up with my dagger and get
Okay,
down
so
the wall as fast as I can.
To do that, your choice. It takes a sleight of hand, which is a dexterity check, or a strength athletics check to sever it in exactly the right place to kind of lower him down as quickly as you can.
Well, that'll be sleight of hand for me.
Good luck.
These
Nice.
rolls are much better.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Okay, so not only do you just cut him and he doesn't just tumble headfirst 30 feet onto his head in the bottom of the forest, but you kind of lay him slowly down on the wall and even manage to keep a length of this sort of threaded sticky web in your hand and start lowering him down the wall. Good job. So that is your action. Is there anything else you want to do? So I'll let you as a bonus action and a move lower him. What could it be? Yeah, you could lower him 30 feet this round. So you kind of lower him hand over hand, straining with the effort down towards Amalfrida. Still stuck up in the web, obviously.
As soon as it's safe, I'm just going to let him go because she's there to catch him. I think is the plan.
Yeah.
All right, so you lower him sort of like 10 to 15 feet, which will, I'd say you could have half a move as well if you only lower him that far, and kind of just let him drop. I'll handle that when it's Amalfrida's turn. But you can then start clambering down if you want. How are you moving down? Are you
rapidly?
All right. So give me.
Bear in mind that the wall's quite sticky. I assume that's going to.
Yeah, but you're concerned about just getting stuck in a web. That's your main concern.
My main concern is getting away and not being eaten.
A fair point. Okay, so give me a strength athletics check at -2 because you're going fast to climb down the wall, and you'll be able to move.
Oh.
You get right the way down. You get right the way down to the ground, and Amalfrida is frankly standing there looking amazed at what you've just done. Amalfrida, it's your turn now to try and catch this sticky cocoon of web that's dropping down on top of you. So give me a strength athletics check to try and pluck him out of the air. Oh, okay. For your gratification, that's a reasonable roll. You've effected an unbelievable rescue. So Sigmar and Amalfrida's got Baldur purely in her arms, threw him over one shoulder fairly nonchalantly with her strength, and you can actually start moving Amalfrida this round as well if you want to.
Yeah, I'll head straight back.
Okay, so move up to 30 feet. Okay, so you guys can see Amalfrida's head bobbing above the wall with her sticky cocoon over her shoulder, and you can no longer see Sigmar up there. He appeared to have rapidly descended. Okay, unfortunately,
Spiders start to move.
spiders are
Colossal.
moving now, and there are some spiders making their way across. If I can actually see where Colossal is. You see a spider come up to the top of the wall, so if that triggers an action for you guys, have at it. There's a spider just snickered over to the top of the wall and is got his forelimbs in the air. It seems to be kind of sniffing the air with maybe horrible looking mandibles and stuff at the front of his mouth. What do you want to do, Hathus, Monin?
Well, my action was if Monin attacks something, then I attack the same one. So that's my readied action. Presumably.
Okay, so Monin.
Fire arrow. There, that arrow finishes.
Okay, so you're aiming basically at a whole bunch of web and stuff at web and wood at the top of the wall up there.
So
all right, so
aim
give
for
me
that area.
a standard to hit roll. It's fairly easy because it's static, so it's got a very low armor class, but just give me a hit roll.
Oh,
You've taken the wall out.
Holy
as
mackerel,
well.
what is going... The last four rolls are 18, 20, 19, 20, so doing well. Okay, this fire arrow, I was going to even sort of say, give you a chance that it may go out, but it sticks in a phenomenal spot, right in a piece of very dry-looking dead wood, surrounded by spider webs, and immediately there is a fire that springs to life on top of the wall. Let me just give you a fire taken up there. Nice job. Anything else you want to do?
reach for another fire arrow, but that's it.
Okay, so you dip it in, dip the end in the flames next to you. I need to come up with some rules around these. I don't think it would be 100% successful all the time, but not at the moment. Hathus, triggers your action.
How do
as
I
well.
do an attack then which isn't sort of key to a specific weapon like my dagger or staff? Or do I just do that? I'm just going to throw a burning brand pretty much where Monin's obviously said it going. But
So to give you an idea, you probably wouldn't have much more than about 20 to 30 foot range with a burning brand. As an improvised weapon, it wouldn't go that far. Similarly with oil flies, you need something basically to give it a little more oomph than that.
if I move forward, that's the whole action then, isn't it? In which case, I can't shoot now, and I can't throw it that far, and I don't want to set Amalfrida on fire with my 30-foot range. So, okay, in which case I can't do the attack I was readying, and then can I say?
You could run to the wall, turn off this area, and throw it maybe at the base of the wall.
Yeah,
that kind of area.
Yep,
that would be fine. Yeah.
Happy with that. So, how shall I do the attack?
Just roll a dagger thrown
dagger?
attack, and
That's the little bomb one, isn't it?
And you just got a burning stick. Is that right?
Yeah. Someone's got to do the poor rolls.
So the stick goes end over end and just sort of
it
appears to kind of fizzle out a bit in the air, lands kind of 2/3 the way to the wall, but doesn't cause any
it's fine.
fires or anything.
All doing our
All right.
Yeah.
Large spider. He skitters across to the top of the wall, making his chattery sound. These things look horrible, and they are very angry looking. Next up, unusually overweight.
He is leftmost, second row up on the northwest crew.
That's kind of going towards the south. He's climbing, so you can see him going up into the canopy by the looks of things. Now it's you, Hathus, as a standard action. As your normal turn, sorry.
Yeah. So what's the range of a thrown dagger? 20-60. The range isn't fantastic, is it?
No, so 60 would be a disadvantage.
He'll burn an inspiration. Presumably takes away the disadvantage, does it?
Yep.
So he'll use an inspiration and throw a dagger at the spider, which is near Baldur, even though Baldur is being carried by Amalfrida, yeah? So colossal.
Yep. So just target it. Good luck.
17 plus 4, 21.
Wow. This dagger comes flying over the wall from the arm of a rickety old man. and skewers it firmly in the face. Right, roll damage.
5.
Nice.
Okay, he's wounded.
Cool.
Next up, villainous
Yeah.
scornful laughter. I'm going to go through a full round and then kind of take this as a more general approach.
Yes, so
See,
second
you actually
from right, top row, north.
got it. Thank you.
Crew.
Kind of in the canopy, probably 40 to 50 feet above you, going up, running up legs and skittering along as he goes. A couple of others, so conservative howl. That's strangely apt looking at the conservative leadership challenge.
Farthest to the left on the northwest lot.
Again, all of these are fanning out. Ungainly and
Ungainly is rightmost, second row, northwest.
Thank you. Going above you, and down from this spider, Sigmar, comes almost like a fishing line drops through, but it's a web that drops down from maybe 20 or 30 feet above you. Clearly didn't know where you are, but it looks like he's fishing for you or for whoever just happened there. This sort of sticky web is dangling roughly underneath where that spider is, a few feet above the ground only. Monin, your action.
Okay, another fire arrow. I don't know if the tower's in the way though, but if possible, that clump of webbing there.
Yeah, that's you could do that.
Okay, I'll try that then.
So you cannot see that. You need to move to be able to see that going north.
Would that be enough?
Yep. So you it's fairly tough going. You clamber up some stones, but being a dwarf, you find that easier than most. And you're standing astride a wall that's probably about 5 feet high. And you've got a clear shot at that area now. Wow, nice shot. So another fire arrow hits the wall there, and a little blaze starts.
That's good.
Nice. And that is right in the midst of a bunch of spiders there.
Excellent.
You have no more movement left, but you could take a bonus action if you have one.
I'll just reload then.
Yeah, so reloading would be
normal bow this time. Sorry, normal arrow have to be this time because I'm nowhere near the fire.
Okay. Bothered empty jaunt. Where are you?
Bottom row, leftmost of the northwest team.
Got him. So you can't really see that actually. I should probably hide a bunch of these now, but it doesn't appear to be coming forwards. Verbal lisp.
He's the rightmost of the second from top row in the northwest.
He appears to be skittering back away from the fire in the canopy.
They're fleeing. Love it.
Sexy. Ooh, should be able to see him. There he is. Oh, he
They're on the
definitely
run, charge.
scarpers backwards. Wan, your dog doesn't do anything.
Good.
Disappointing smile. There is an add-in I can get that basically sticks
Top
a
right.
highlight.
Top right of the northwest bunch.
Skitters back as well. We'll just go through the full round and then we come out of initiative. Nasty gate. Yeah, he legs it east in the canopy. And another fairly
Well padded.
a chunky one.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the northwest.
Heads back as well. Baldor doesn't do anything. He's stuck. Mocking jaunt.
Middle of the three and the southern bunch. Horizontal. Next to the fire.
Thank you. Skitters away west. One with like really chunky legs. A meaty looking one. Very
Top
meaty.
left.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, got him. He kind of skitters back as well. They look like they're going. You're not sure whether it's the threat of the fire, because they're not really raging through the webs or anything, or just the light that's scaring them, but it's kind of having some effect, which is good. Cumulative laughter.
Northwest lot. Left one of the two and the bottom row.
Thank you.
I think they're just scared of my imposing visage.
And the next one was next to that one, John, so the one next to it. What was next to it?
Thanks.
Loyal, infuriating guffaw.
Black the pony doesn't do anything. He's well away. Right, so I'll just move some of these.
Useless in a fight, that pony. Just get a new one.
Brilliant. They're scattering away, which is really good.
The only three that look
Menacing.
vaguely threatening immediately right now are Colossal, who's came up to the wall, doesn't seem to be that scared of the fire, and is slightly injured. Ungainly and very villainous, scornful laughter. You've affected the first part of the escape. To be honest, much better than I thought you were going to do. Amalfrida's got Balder over her shoulder. Sigmar and Amalfrida are back on the ground, and no one's been bitten or attacked by spiders directly yet. So, what is your plan? Are you going to try and basically literally just scarper for it, or fight in withdrawal? How would you try and get back to your horse in the track and the road?
I
My
vote
vote would be
Scarpa.
Scarpa. Two people carrying. Someone helps Amalfrida carry Balder.
Aye.
Maybe Moaning does that if he's strong, and I'll shout instructions like step up or left or watch out for the branch or something, so they don't blunder into something.
Okay,
Sigmar
so
just hoofs it.
Okay, no
Sigmar,
worries.
if you can hold them off, and we'll meet you back at the new inn that we haven't been to.
What I will, what I'm going to ask you to do is, everyone give me two checks in the tower. One is a survival check, or a strength athletics check, whichever you prefer, and that is to basically see, can you navigate successfully through the forest fast back to the track. And the second one is a pure stealth check to see if you can do it quietly.
So survival in the tower, yeah.
Yeah, and this will be a group check, so I'm going to basically take almost like, it's not quite a group average, but I'm going to look at what the group runs with and see how well you do. You make a really good fist of it initially, being fairly stealthy and quiet, moving off. You make a few wrong turns. You got turned around in the forest a little bit, but eventually find a way to navigate through briar and bracken, overhanging bits of wood, and you finally see a place that you recognize and are quite confident in the way you're going. However, there are still two atacops that are pretty resiliently on your trail. Two large spiders that are on your trail. You've basically evaded the large nest of them. They probably have bigger problems, but the colossal and ungainly were tenacious and followed you. This is not anywhere near this ruin. It's not actually a ruin. It's basically just a wooded area. Appear to be in the trees, and are coming in from the west. I move you all fairly close together. Amalfrida and Monin, you were kind of sharing the carrying task for carrying Baldur back.
Yep.
Pretty heavy, but you haven't really got time to cut him down or see if he's conscious. And I want everyone to roll initiative. And in the trees behind you, you can still hear the skittering of these atacops coming at you. Okay, Sigmar, you do get to act first.
Okay, what have I got? Can I see either of them?
Yeah, it's passive perception. It's okay. It's on your character sheet front page. It's 13, so yeah, you can see them.
I'm going to take a shot at Ungainly.
Okay, good luck.
Twang! Ouch! My thumb.
Well, back to that, Sigmar.
You had a very bent arrow or something. It just does kind of banana loop up into the air and just disappears in the canopy of trees, missing it wildly. Do you want to move at all anywhere?
So is this terrain actually here, or are we just kind of in the open?
No, it's all fairly easy terrain. Fairly open part of the woods. You're getting near the road now.
No, I'll just stand there and reload.
Okay. Hathus.
I've got nothing missile-like to get near these things unless I split up from everyone, run forward, and then I'm too far away. So I will move. So everyone's location is correct. So I'll move, I don't know, somewhere next to, between Monin and Amalfrida, because I feel that's the safest place to be. And I'm ready in action that if a spider comes within range, I will smack it with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
And I will say, shall we drop Balder and make a stand, or keep running?
Depends how many of them come.
Put Balder down and make a stand, not drop him and run, but free your hands.
That's fate.
Okay. I knew Monin was going to say that. Okay, so this larger of the two of these spiders, and did I describe them to you last time? I can, or maybe even show you a picture of them. Many-eyed and many-legged, they're giant spiders reaching up to the size of boars, potentially. Crafty predators. They are typically look like they favour the canopy treetops above you, not at ground level at the moment, and they look like this.
Ugh.
About the size of a very large dog, like an Alsatian type size thing, but that's just the body. The legs are a lot longer than that. Horrible looking. So this thing starts skittering across to towards you all. Obviously can see you. So it's about 30 feet above you at the moment. It says something some of you might be able to understand in a very harsh language. Not sure what that means. Okay, and next up is Amalfrida.
Okay, so I'll lower Baldor to the ground, just step sort of in front of him and ready my shield and axe.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, and the other Atacop starts heading towards Sigmar by the looks of things. Honing in on you, Moaning your action.
Okay, if I action surge, that mean I'll get 2 bow shots.
Yes.
Okay, I'll action surge. I don't know how do I activate that. It's just I click on it, nothing happens.
So first it just
I'll just tick it.
It toggles it to make sure because you can only use it once per rest, basically. So it shows you've done it, and now you literally would get 2 attacks on whichever one you want with your bow.
Okay, the one that's going for Sigmar, because I'm kind of confident in what Amalfrida can do.
Okay.
I'll do.
It's a hit.
I'll definitely do.
Ooh, nice damage. So what did that look like?
Okay, so he takes he sees Amalfrida take a step over, looking quite grim, and he just goes, right, let's get this over and done with, and fires an arrow as quick as he can, and it seems to strike it, going for the big bulbous abdomen, or was that the thorax? I can't remember which one those are, but gets it straight in the middle.
Oh, good. Spine shot. Okay.
So there's
Background.
Isn't it another attack? Didn't Monin say he's doing an action?
Yeah, sorry, Monin, you action surge, you do have a second attack.
Does it seem to be moving onwards?
It still looks like it's coming, yeah.
Nice.
Another hit.
Oh, this was a glancing shot. Gone a bit too quick this time. And he just nicks an egg.
Skittered off a leg, which was nice. Just like didn't stick in this time. Sigmar, you get to act.
I'm going to shoot the same one.
Okay, good luck.
Is that a hit?
So you didn't target it. So you can drag it onto either the combat tracker or the map, that white box with the dice rolls in, and it would tell you if you hit or not.
Yes.
It did. So if you target it now and roll the damage, it should automatically apply.
But
I've got
the thing
ability.
he chooses the damage, doesn't he? He rolls 2
You
dice.
do, sorry. Yeah, so roll your damage twice and drag whichever one is better to it.
That or that. I'll have the second one, I think.
Okay, Ungainly has got 2 arrows stuck almost feather deep inside its carapace and abdomen.
Move
It's
back
pretty messy.
to let somebody more substantial stand in the way.
Somebody substantially braver. Okay.
More heavily armoured.
Okay,
Beat
nice
on
shot. Hathus, you're up.
On the one hand, it would be nice to rush over and finish this spider off. On the other hand, I will look like an idiot if I don't hit it.
It's also 30 feet in the trees at the moment, so that would be
In which case, I can't read. That makes my decision for me. In which case, I will. It's 30 foot up in the trees, isn't he? So I will be. I will burn a inspiration to give me a chance of hitting him with a thrown dagger.
Okay, so attack with no
Ungainly.
penalties.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Target and
that's-
attack. Good luck. Looking pretty wounded. Or unfortunately, dagger
Attacking
flies
while out.
wide.
1 out of ammo. Oh, okay.
You may not have any daggers left.
That says I've only got 1. I'm sure I've got 2 on my inventory. I'm sure I
So
had.
did it roll that with advantage?
No, because
No,
I
it's
was
not
using the advantage to counteract the disadvantage of being greater than at long range. I've missed him anyway, haven't I? So
Yeah, dagger gets lost. You do not have any
Yeah.
daggers left now.
gotcha. I won't move
Okay.
because safety in numbers and all that.
Okay, one of these things starts skittering again. Oh, they're horrible. It's making a beeline straight down towards Amalfrida.
Those noises are horrible.
Yeah, John, that's not you just
What?
shaking your cheek with your finger, is it?
Oh, that's disgusting. Right. Let me see. Okay, and it starts scurrying down a branch and tree. It's kind of going around very quickly around the trunk of a tree, and it skitters right the way in front of Amalfrida. But it's obviously used a lot of movement to get there and doesn't get an attack this time. Amalfrida, it's looking very menacing, literally right in front of you.
Okay, so I'll just attack it with my axe, I think.
Have at it. This did it. Dodged wildly back, screeched at you as the axe flew just wide. The other Atacop, looking pretty wounded, is coming in towards you. Gets to within really 10 feet away and it's come down towards you a bit, maybe 20 feet off the ground now. And at Monin comes this horrible sticky web that it flies out of its spinner. And it strikes you straight in the chest and worst, in the beard.
Oh no!
And unfortunately, Onin, you're restrained by this. It's kind of stuck into surrounding bushes, tree branches, your beard, your clothing. You're struggling in this web and are held fast at the moment.
You've been slimed.
Monin, you are up. You're currently restrained, but you might be able to break loose.
Yeah, that's exactly what you'll try and do. He'll just concentrate on trying to get himself free.
Okay, so we'll take an action. You can make a strength athletics check to try and break away from it. Good luck.
Okay. Get off me, you bastard!
And there's the ripping sound of beard and webbing, and Monin a bit of a screech, and he's going to obviously need to shave more carefully for the next few days. But he rips free of this thing. Well done, and very good. And you kind of rip free, pull yourself back 5 feet from where the web struck, and you are free. It took an action to do that, however. You can move if you want.
Yeah, have I got a bonus action to like change weapons and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so as a free action, you can change one weapon. Actually, are you a 2-weapon specialist? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm shield and warhammer.
Okay, so at the moment you've got basically a bow.
Yeah.
Out. Okay, so yeah, it's a free action to draw and sheath, and as a bonus action, I'll say you can get your shield out. So you're basically ready for melee combat.
Yeah, so if I can just sort of drop the bow, grab the warhammer and shield out, and does that take any movement, or is that both actions taken?
So that's free action and bonus action taken. You can still do a little bit more movement if you want as well.
Just enough to try and get in front of Hathus, that's all.
No worries. Kind of move up to there, or
Actually, that's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Next back up is Sigmar.
So that one is badly wounded. I'm going to shoot the colossal one that's fighting Amalfrida.
Okay, so to get a clear shot, you need to move to be able to attack without suffering penalties. It's fairly well It's ground level now, and kind of behind where
Will
Amalfrida
that
is.
do?
So yeah, that
Right,
would be
cool.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe move another 5 feet. I'll move you up there and just move 5 feet further, and that will give you a very clear shot. Perfect. Good luck.
Then I will. I'll use my inspiration. Why not?
Nice. That was well worth using inspiration
Yes.
or perspiration.
Now, because
Okay.
the foe is adjacent to it, I get sneak
Yeah,
attack.
Sneak attack. Yep.
Which is
Nice.
So I roll damage twice, pick the best, and then add a d6. I think.
Yep. So actually, what you can do is if you, okay, 6. That's good.
I'd stick with that one.
Nice.
I'll pick that one, and this will be the sneak attack damage.
Okay, so drag both
12.
of that onto the
Colossal.
colossal Atacop. Good shooting,
Nice.
and you've still got another 10 feet of movement if you want.
I'll stay there.
Good shooting, Hathus. There's one right in front of you, nearly.
I think I'm equidistant from both, but
You're exactly equidistant from.
I will step next to Moaning because I'm feeling emboldened, and I feel that this one is nearly dead. So between the two of us, we should be able to splat it. It's only an overgrown bug, so take that. Did that work? Or did I double click? Yes, splat.
You hit it.
Oh, yes.
You killed it with a terrible shot, but yeah, it was
So
enough.
I didn't waste any energy. I did just enough to kill it. Ha!
Gently poked it.
I'm done. I've killed
Killed
that
it.
one.
What did that look like? Apart from
I was-
Hathus and Monin were really surprised at the
I
outcome.
jabbed him in one of his eyes, with the end of my staff, and it sort of squodged the eye rather gruesomely into his head, and then his legs just all sort of tightened up, and he just fell in a heap.
Okay, so there was a horrible snickering as he collapses to the ground. His legs all kind of fold up around him in a literal dead bug-like pose.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Slack the pony, finish them off.
what's this, Amalfrida? Colossal rears up, skitters round, and lashes at you with a stinger at his tail and his hindquarters. But it misses. You manage to just dodge back
Cool.
just in the nick of time. And what are you going to do to counter your action? When Amalfrida swings, there's a battle of wills going on between the two. Monin, you're not restrained anymore, sorry.
Good man, Hathus. It took fucking half my beard. And he'll step towards Amalfrida, bring his shield up to make sure she's got the protection, and then try and hit Colossal.
Good luck.
And a miss.
Colossal's dodging must be near underbrush and trees, causing the problem. Sigmar, you're next to react.
Tough buggers, these. I'm gonna. Oh, it's quite badly damaged, isn't it? I'm gonna run in and try and stab it. With
Okay,
broadsword.
good luck.
Oh dear.
Wow, this is a tough beast. Hathus, come on. It's going to take the...
I think you know the plan, don't you? I'm going to move up to there, and I will again try and just squodge it, splat it with my trusty quarterstaff of destruction.
I've got vision of you literally just holding on to the foot end, and you've got a meaty, knobbly top, and you just club it with it, double handed.
Oh, nice!
Well done, chaps. You dragged a nice splat them. We've
So
these around where I live.
So Sigmar, Amalfrida, and Monin are look around at each other, a bit bemused, and then all raise their eyebrows at this sort of old bloke standing there with his quarterstaff in both hands, just buried it in its head from behind it. Well done.
Do you remember a few weeks back there, Hathus? I said, "What could you bring to the party?" Well, I should have shut my mouth.
With age comes wisdom, my boy.
Have they gone?
I think we should get the hell out of here.
You can. And you finally make it back to the horses. So I'm going to come out of combat. You are back at the horse and the dog. Juan's ears are back and down as you come up, and his tail's between his legs, and he's kind of on his haunches. Horse is looking a bit skittish around in the forest, but it doesn't appear to have been attacked. Belgo's looking really worried and really angry looking. He's got like a grim expression on his face as you come up. Okay, so you've got basically an either dead or unconscious Beldor. You don't know which yet. You've just literally been kind of running for the last half a mile and fending off spiders.
As soon as we can, I will take a look at him with I presume with my medicine skill, and try and figure out what's going on.
Excellent.
Wisdom medicine check lets you try to stabilize a dying companion or diagnose an illness. So I'd definitely like to see what is wrong with him with reference to what the spiders have done.
Okay, so yeah, you carefully, and it's fairly tough stuff, this web, as you could have obviously, you can tell by now. You carefully cut him free of it and peeled his back, and Belgo's looking on in horror, really. It's his poor old dad lying there limp on the floor. You then look him over carefully. Give me a medicine check. You can do it in the open.
Yep. Medicine, so drag the dice. 24.
Wow. So you can tell he's breathing. He's breathing in a very shallow way. You would estimate that he's suffering from being poisoned of some sort.
Okay, that's
but
no
he
problem.
definitely appears to be. You would estimate probably with that roll, yeah, maybe 10 to 30 minutes time, he'll probably come round. It's not a very deep acting poison by the looks of things.
Do I think it's worth neutralizing it, or will he come out? Is he on the way out of it anyway? So give him 20, 30 minutes and he will be out of it anyway. Or do I think it's worth? I can spend a healing dice to cure one disease, neutralize one poison, or remove one condition affecting a single target. So I could just get rid of the poison, or if he's coming out of it naturally, then we can save our resources.
You think he'll probably come out, unless you want to do it in a hurry, basically.
I don't think we're in a hurry, are we? We're back at camp and we're okay, aren't we?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, so it's around noon now.
Yeah, well, for now, I'll let him come out of it naturally.
Okay. So around 20 minutes later, he eyes flutter and he, with a groan, opens them and looks around him. He looks really confused. Whoa, where am I? What's going on?
Is his son around?
Yeah, Belgo runs over as soon as he's been kind of. You're a bit concerned about Belgo. He's not as worried about his dad as you possibly thought. He's seemed quite scared, but he just seems really angry. And he's not been like holding his dad's hand under his side or anything. He just kind of seems to be playing with a necklace around his neck and just snapping twigs and stuff in a very grumpy sort of way off to the side. But he does run over as his father's eyes open, and he holds his hand and says, Dad, you're okay. And there's a couple of minutes, there's lots of hugs and all round, and it seems that as you feed him Beldor some water, he seems quite confused still, but he's very happy and thanks you profusely for whatever you did to rescue him. He has no recollection of anything other than going to sleep last night. So no recollection of running off, no recollection of the spiders, which is probably a good thing. None of that, which is quite strange.
Baldur, can I give you a wee tip? You shouldn't be travelling. You running off in the middle of Mirkwood when everybody was saying not to leave the road, and you went off. You nearly got yourself killed, and more importantly, got me killed.
Cost you half a beard.
But what's happened to your beard? but I didn't run off. I can't remember. I don't think I ran off.
I know.
Well,
I don't think you're right in the head.
Maybe he was unnaturally influenced.
Maybe there's a hex upon him.
I'm sorry. And he's like puts his head in his hands and tears coming in his eyes. I'm really sorry. I thought I was back in Esgaroth, and I was so scared. I thought I was back there when Smaug attacked, and I can just remember running and looking for my wife, and she was lost, and I never did find her. And I managed to then find Baldur, and he's like very tearful now. Like tears are flooding down his cheeks. At least I got him out of the flames, and I never saw Hilly again.
Aye,
And it
so
seems
don't leave the house. Do your trading and try and set up a wee shop somewhere and just trade there. You shouldn't be out and about.
Do I think he's got some kind of post-traumatic stress type disorder, some kind of mental disorder or condition, John, or is he just upset?
you recollect that this is kind of similar to what you learned or Sigmar learned. He was almost like out of body or deluded about where he was last night. So you don't know what caused this. It could have been the Smaug attack. It could have been something that the forest has done. It could be something he ate, drank. No idea really, but he's not himself.
It could be that rich elven food disagreeing with him. So we need to get out of dangerous areas then. He's a little bit of a liability, I guess.
You can tell he's looking at Belgo very warily, which you would do if you thought he was 5 years older than you remember him being.
Hey, he's a header.
A water.
A header? He's mad.
I guess what that was. I didn't know what it was. So.
Are we okay to travel? Can we get towards safety, even if it makes our route a little bit longer?
Yeah, you're quite keen. I'll just close that back. You're quite keen to get out of this area and just make progress along the path again. And
Baldur, don't take this the wrong way, but would you mind us binding your legs when you sleep? For your own safety.
I just tie him to a tree, but when we camp, but
I don't want to run off. I don't know what came over me. I can't even remember.
I know, but I didn't want to lose half a beard either.
Oh, okay. You travel on again for a few more days, and you take the same precautions each night. You are collect firewood, go just off the track, hobble a horse, and kind of make a decent camp. And tying Baldur up, he's not had that same reaction since, which is quite fortunate for you. But you're making fairly solid progress. Very wary. Haven't seen any more spiders, fortunately. Definitely not been following you. And you're making quite nice time.
Good. And how do Baldur and Belgo seem to be getting on? Normal father and son, or is it still stilted or unusual or weird or forced?
Not great. That happy friendship of theirs in the first part of the journey has kind of gone, and Belgo's a bit introverted, and Baldur's, I wouldn't say distant, but doesn't really know how to treat his son by the looks of things at the moment.
Amongst our party only, Baldur and Belgo, I'll ask if anyone is anyone good at counselling, because I think Belgo may benefit from someone with a nice demeanour chatting to him and finding out what's going on in his brain, in his mind.
Well, Monid's obviously the best counsellor in the party. Probably you. You're a kindly old granddad type figure. Sorry, kindly old uncle type figure.
I'm the slayer, not by class, but I'm the finisher. I can try and have a chat with him and sort of say, how's it going with your dad? You seem a bit wary of him, a bit strained with him after the incident, and see if he'll open up.
So yeah, after a couple of evenings around the campfire, you notice very strongly that he's frequently playing with this
necklace.
Something, on a necklace around his neck, brooding and looking into the fire. He doesn't kind of snap out of it too much. You, in your professional opinion, would estimate it's probably the trauma of what happened to his dad. He thought he was going to lose him when he's not kind of snapped out of that, and that's why he's distant from him. Don't really know how to fix it though.
I was going to say, do I think it's some kind of condition that I can fix with my Hands of Healer skill, or is it just something a bit more complex and yet?
A bit more complex. So probably time would maybe fix it, because Baldur's not right either, so not going to be something you can really help with.
No. Okay. If I get an opportunity and there's not too many people around, and I see him playing with the necklace, I might try and ask him in a nice, kindly, interested kind of way, What's that you're playing with around your neck? I've seen you touching it a few times, and leave it deliberately open to see whether he hides it and runs off, or whether he tells me anything about it.
He puts it back in his shirt and definitely doesn't want you to see it.
No, it's fine.
Well, it's mine. Nothing to do with you. Mind your own
That's
business.
fine. I'm not. It's only making conversation, and I'll try and be as nice and fluffy with the lad as possible, so he doesn't feel that I've taken an unnatural interest in it, and I'm going to steal it at the first opportunity.
It probably soothes him. That's why he's doing it with us.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So a couple of days later, and you're traveling when you're in a fairly dark part of the forest. There's overhanging trees either side of the elf path, and the elf path is extremely easy to follow, and it almost strangely doesn't seem overgrown anywhere along it that you've seen. I.e., things growing over the path. There are some overhanging branches, obviously, but nothing much more than that. But this storm starts gathering from a distance, and you can see it coming closer.
Does it look like normal weather, just a storm coming in?
Yeah, it's a big storm. Wind's picked up. Trees are getting lashed around. The rain's starting to come down, and you're all miserable. The horses are looking miserable. Like 20 minutes of this. Larger branches are creaking ominously. It's becoming very, very difficult to move forward easily with this. Don't really know what you can do, really. Desperate for a place to hide, possibly. Just really, really tough. And it's a storm, if anything, over time it just gets worse and worse. You cannot make yourselves hear over the noise, and it's fleeting even. Lightning coming down into the wood all around you. You need somewhere to go and hide now. The Baldur and Belgo are looking petrified and shivering.
So we need some safe cover.
Yeah, it's like whole buckets of water seem to be almost like dumping on your head. It's horrific. Thunder and lightning. There's water trickling from the trees, and then copious amounts of dozens of even little streams and rills start flooding a forest floor around your feet. In the tower, give me a survival check, Sigmar.
Dear. Oh, dearie me.
Okay, so as the lightning flashes...
Do I survive?
You do. More importantly, to the rest of you survive. You spot an unusual sight at some distance from the path, probably maybe 100 to 200 feet away from the path. There's a huge dead hollow tree up ahead. And what's strange, in the lightning flash, you saw a thin plume of wood smoke rising from the top of the tree, or this hollow tree. Someone looks to be living inside it.
Warmth and shelter.
Log people.
In Mirkwood. Not suspicious at all. There, over there. You can shelter from the rain.
But we're not supposed to leave the path.
Yeah, rules are made to be broken.
Crazy man.
You want to get any wetter?
I can't get any wetter.
I'm not too keen about this lightning, and we're encased in armour here, metal armour.
Yes, maybe you should take your helmet off.
Well, luckily I'm closer to the ground.
Yes.
So do you head over towards that way? The thunder and lightning are getting more and more frequent.
Everything suggests we do.
Yeah, I'm heading that way.
Yeah, Mona would like to.
Okay, you easily navigate to it. The lightning is coming down so frequently now, it's almost lit up every few seconds. Searching around the base of the tree, you discover it's massive, probably 20 feet diameter. This ancient tree would have been. It's hollowed out now, but you find in one of the gnarled sort of root system as it touches the ground, a tunnel that runs between the roots into the tree's interior. No sign of anyone around. You crawl into it, but you believe they can't be far away because there's a cook's fire in there unaccompanied.
What does it smell like?
Earthy would be the best way to describe it. It doesn't smell, but nothing much more than that.
Doesn't smell
It's
foul.
definitely no, it doesn't, and it's you really need to get basically out of this rain because it's chilled down a lot, and you just don't have anything to counteract it. And this is easily the best spot without searching potentially for half a day to try and find something better. And Balder and Belgo are looking very keen to get out of it, and they're kind of, Belgo kind of walks up and looks back at Dad and says, teeth chattering, can we go in?
Yes.
I'm going in. I'm going in.
Yeah, we've come this far.
Yeah, Mother's going to go in.
All right, so you kind of tether the horse in the lee of the tree out of the worst of the rain. There is some cover for it, but it's not great. But he's kind of hunkers down and turns his back to the weather. You've got a kind of tarp over his back to keep the worst off. And after a couple of minutes, you navigate in through the area and go into the inside, and the sounds of the storm dissipate. And you're inside. It's smoky, but actually surprisingly cozy in there. There's a single round room, about 20 foot across. Walls are the dead wood of the tree. It obviously goes well below ground level. The roof is a mix of bark and thatch that keeps out most of the wind and the rain. It's not like a hobbit hole snug, but it's a lot better than being outside in the storm. And there is a ring of stones in the middle of the room and a small cook fire burning with some hunks of meat, possibly rabbit or squirrel, on a spit that are cooking. And it's not directly over the fire, it's kind of to the side, and they look nearly cooked. Other unidentifiable bits of meat hung from the ceiling on long black strings. There is a bed of leaves and furs near the fire on the floor as well, and what look like jars of water or maybe even baskets of fruit or vegetation of some form sitting in a cool hollow at the back of the room. You're a woodman, aren't you, Hathus?
Yes.
Yeah, so you recognize this kind of style of handiwork as probably a woodman's work.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty effective at surviving out in the woods. You're aware that they use hollow trees for shelter. So this looks more than just a temporary overnight shelter, though. This looks like it's been built up over time.
So I'll say this looks like a woodman's work. But I would recommend we don't touch or take anything or disturb anything. We should be grateful for being in the warm and the dry, eat our own rations, drink our own water, and just wait quietly and patiently.
Aye.
Okay.
Good advice.
Do you want to look around the walls?
Yes.
Check it out a bit, or all right. So it's strange. You don't really find anything of value in here, and you're obviously not going to be taking it. Just like
No. I'm not searching it. I'll have a look around out of curiosity and appreciation, but that's it.
But as you bank up the fire a little, and there's some wood to do that, the light flares sufficiently. You can see a grim discovery on the walls. The walls are covered in wood carvings of some format depicting horrible, tortured faces and monsters of all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And the most, there are weird sort of spider-like creatures similar to what you've seen. There are beak-nosed creatures out of myth potentially, and probably more worrying is human or humanoid faces that are just in tortured souls screaming and those kind of things. It's whoever lives here has or is tormented by some horrible nightmares.
Cozy place.
Yeah, it's a little spooky. So you've kind of Balder and Bell go huddle up to the fire to try and dry out. There's some steam starts rising from you all as you're there, but it is very welcome. There's a few drips coming through the ceiling, but nothing too grim.
Are there any traditions of sanctuary, especially in a storm, John, such that even if this inhabitant was slightly angry at us being there or slightly hostile, is there some kind of sanctuary that we know of where you could say, there's a truce of a storm or something like that, whereby, there's some kind of trump card where we might be safe or immune to?
Give me a
traditions law.
Traditions check, yeah.
In the tower, presumably.
No, you can do it in the open. Just role play out.
21.
Yeah, so if this is a woodman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Woodmen don't have things like, I don't know, hotels or equivalent, or inns where they buy things. They're very hospitable to people that treat them fairly, but they're people who they're hospitable to are expected to kind of pull their weight as well in that situation. So you would not feel there's any risk of this guy treating this as a threat, if you're not threatening if you see anyone or anyone comes in.
Okay, that's good. I'll try and explain this to others and say, pull a weight, be helpful, but be respectful, and let's not anger anyone. And as soon as the weather's broken, we'll be on our way. Put this behind us. It's been a horrible day.
All right. Okay, so a few more minutes later, you're beginning to warm up a little bit, and you hear this sort of sound outside and some scratching going on and huffing and puffing, and then a rank smell comes wafting into the chamber as this, what can only be called an old relic, kind of shuffles his way down, very wet, straggly hair, straggly beard, into the chamber.
And that's where I'll leave this episode for this particular instalment. Thanks very much for listening. And for those of you who subscribed, thank you very, very much. And if you could like our videos, that'd be great. And all the usual ways you can see what we do is in the description. But other than that, thank you very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.